Good morning. My name is Sheila Gautreaux. I'm the assistant minister here at Unity of Walnut Creek. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our service. This morning, I will be talking about I Pray Yes. We'll be looking at the yes action of prayer, affirmative prayer, which has been Unity's model for over 100 years worldwide. Our music today is being provided by guest artist Gina, and our song leaders are Jabari and Mitch. And of course, they are backed up by our phenomenal house band, Fusion. So sit back, you're in for a wonderful treat today. Enjoy the service. Thank you so much for being with us, and we look forward to having you with us again.
In this moment, in this time, in this openness of our heart, we have come to share the presence of the God within and to hold a sacred space. In this moment, at this time, where we feel the oneness of all, we have come here to build a sanctuary of love. In this moment, at this place, in this moment, in this place. God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The power of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The power of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The power of God is within me. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Love of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The love of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The love of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The love of God is within me. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. The light of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The light of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The light of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The light of God is within me. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. The peace of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The peace of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The peace of God is within me. I know, I know, I know. The peace of God is within me. Yes, I know.
Good morning. My name is Susan Galvin. I'm a past assistant minister here at Unity of Walnut Creek. And I want to welcome you to our service this morning. Will you also please join me in turning to the camera and greeting our members at home this morning. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we appreciate you. If you are new to our services this morning, we welcome you, and we are glad that you have chosen to be with us today. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our focus is on universal spiritual truths, and today you may hear music and teachings from different spiritual paths. We celebrate the many paths to God while focusing on the divine presence within us all. So let's open our service this morning with the power of affirmative prayer as we attune to this divine presence. So just let yourself get centered. Bring your attention into your heart. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And now let yourself settle in even more deeply into the heart within you, the presence within you. And let's say it again. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And one more time. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you to everyone who joined us this past week in our spiritual focus, which was heart connection. And to support our journey through music today, first we have our Unity singers, Jabari and Mitch. Thank you. And our guest soloist today is Degina. And of course, our house band Fusion. Now, please remain seated and join us in singing God is My Source.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need.
Good morning. I invite you to join me now for a little relaxation time. And just settle into your seats and prepare yourself for praying meditation by allowing this chant to take you more deeply, and you may sing along or just listen.
Come, Holy Spirit, come. Come, Holy Spirit, come. Come, Holy Spirit, come. Come, Holy Spirit, come. Come, Spirit, come. Come, Spirit, come. Come, Spirit, come, Spirit, come. Come, come.
And allow that to continue to vibrate within your being. Closing your eyes if you feel comfortable in doing so. Shutting out any visual distractions. And breathing in through the heart and out through the heart. Allow Holy Spirit, that whole activity of God, to flow in and through us. Come, Holy Spirit. Open us up to the possibilities that live within our relationship with you. Move into our being and align us with the truth of you and the truth of who we are. Align us with all the good that you are, the good that is ours, the good that stands ready to pour itself into us and into our lives. We open the doorway for our good to flow at the gateway of our heart. Where we join with you in creating the life we wish to live into. Move through our bodies as healing. Move through our finances as prosperity. Move through our relationships as perfect love. Move through the chaos as peace. Come, Holy Spirit, come. Keep us connected with you as we face the challenges of our lives and as we celebrate the joys. For through our relationship with you, all things are possible. We know that with God through the heart, all things are And so we take this time to commune with you. We invite you to speak to us, to feed us, to lift us up as we spend a little time with you in the silence. Mother, Father, God, we are grateful for our time with you. We are grateful to know that as we walk, you walk with us. We are grateful to know that you go before us, preparing our way for success, for perfect outcomes. Fill us with your presence each and every moment of each and every day, reminding us that we are one with you and each other. Allow the love that you pour into us to extend outward through us to touch each person within this room, within this sanctuary. And as we are filled and as we are touched, allow it to extend itself out into our communities, embracing all who are seeking your divine love, and extending it even further out into our world, in all of the places, at the highest points and in the lowest valleys, touching every heart that beats. For divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please share this with me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And once more, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And so it is. Amen.
But God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. While the strong get more, the weak ones fade. Empty pockets never make the grade. Your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. When you've got money, you've got lots of people hanging around your door. But when the spending stops, they don't come around anymore. And when you're tired and all seems lost, they're gone and you're alone. Rich relations give crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't you take too much. Your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Rich relations give crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, just don't you take too much. Your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child. God bless the child that's got his own.
My name is Jennifer Hooker, and it's my pleasure to highlight a few of the many upcoming events here at Unity. Deborah Rosman will be with us today. She is the CEO of HeartMath and co-author of many of the HeartMath books. Deborah will give a special workshop on the role of the heart in the planetary shift of consciousness. HeartMath books and technology are available in our bookstore. If you are interested in taking the step of joining our Unity community as a member, or if you're just interested in learning more of what Unity is about, you are invited to join us next Sunday afternoon and the following Thursday evening. And to learn more about these and other activities, please consult your bulletin and our website. And until you hear the gong, please take a short moment to greet the people immediately around you.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Good morning again. You know, about 5 years ago, I turned 58. And I planted a seed. I wanted to sing professionally. I've always sang in church. But I wanted to sing out in the world. I wanted to give my gift that God gave me to the world. Many of you have seeds that you've planted. And I want you to know it's your season. It's your time. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. No, I haven't always been perfect, but I've sure been faithful. God's got a purpose, and I know He's able. I've got a seed in the ground, and He's blessing, no more stressing. I've got a seed in the ground, and I'm knowing it's growing. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Everything is working together for my good. Everything is working together for my good. Everything is working together for my good. You know that it's working together for my good. I want you to know that it's good. It's good. It's good. It's working for my good. It's good. So good. It's good. It's working for my good. It's good. Real good. It's working, working, working for my good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's working for my good. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. I've got a seed in the ground. Yes, I've got a seed in the ground. And it's working.
Wow. This is my season, your season, our season. And the message is just perfect for it. Not too long ago, in one of our monthly meetings, our heart ministers, and that's how we refer to our prayer chaplains, were discussing ways to make our congregation more aware of what we do and drawing more attention to the availability of the heart ministers to pray with them. And several of the heart ministers gave ideas as to why perhaps people didn't really know much about us or what we do. So maybe sometimes people are thinking that the way that we're praying with people might be still rooted in some of the more fundamental theologies that we have grown up with and maybe are uncomfortable with. Another is that maybe they know what we're doing, but they don't really understand it, so they don't bother to come and ask us to pray because they're not too sure what are they doing. And so they said, let's look at some ways that we can bring this out. And so they're going to be doing a little pamphlet on who we are and what we do and how we might be of service to you. But they said, Sheila, you should speak about it sometimes when you're doing the talk. Talk about what it is that we do. So today, my talk is on affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer. How many of you are familiar with what affirmative prayer really is? See a few hands up. Good. So it's perfect timing to share this with you because we're getting so many new people. And while they love our service, there are many things about unity that they don't know yet. And affirmative prayer is the founding principle of unity. On affirmative prayer, on prayer, this ministry was created as a result of the use of affirmative prayer by Myrtle Fillmore in healing her tuberculosis. She was listening to a man by the name of E.B. Weeks who said to her, "You are a child of God, therefore you cannot be sick." In other words, we are made in the image and likeness of that which created us, therefore we have its characteristics and attributes, therefore that which created us is not sick, therefore we cannot be sick. Make sense? So Myrtle was taught to pray in the affirmative. And what are we talking about? Well, there are many sources for affirmative prayer in our unity books and so forth, but I like to know what the outside world is saying about it. So I went to the #1 source on the internet, which is Wikipedia. And actually, they had affirmative prayer. So I thought that was pretty cool. And Wikipedia says that affirmative prayer is a form of prayer or a metaphysical technique. Oh, you have a handout, by the way, so you can follow along on some of this. Or a metaphysical technique that focuses on a positive outcome rather than a negative situation. In other words, it is something that takes our eyes off the condition and raises it up to a higher possibility that comes from within us. And in my book, I'll just paraphrase because it is kind of long, the definition. But in Praying Through a Storm, I say that affirmative prayer is the process by which we pray understanding the nature of God and our relationship to God and aligning ourselves with the ultimate possibilities underlying the condition that we are facing in our lives, and therefore we focus on drawing to us the perfect outcome rather than what we're experiencing. We draw to us that which we desire to see rather than what we are actually seeing. Does that make sense? Yes. And does somebody need to change something? Are we okay? Oh, okay. So we are drawing to us that which we desire to see rather than that which we are seeing in the current moment. Affirmative prayer is a combination of affirmations and denials. So let me give you a little information about denials and affirmations. Denials are the process or the concept of disavowing that the situation before us has the power to demean, demoralize, or diminish the truth of our being, or to weaken or lessen our capabilities or our abilities to overcome what is before us. We are not denying that this situation doesn't exist. We are saying that it doesn't have the power to keep us from successfully overcoming it. Are you with me? Someone in the first service said, wow, I always thought of denials as something negative. But this form of denial is a positive approach to disavowing what is not the truth of God, and therefore what is not the truth of you at your deepest level of being. So what we're saying is it is true, with a lowercase t, that this is happening, but it is not the truth with a capital T. What is true versus what is the truth. Affirmations, on the other hand, affirm what is the truth of the situation. Affirmations, as Charles Fillmore said, are the yes action of the mind. So while we are experiencing a condition, we deny that it has any power over us, that it has any power to keep us from our good, and then we affirm what it is that we want to see show up. We affirm the life that we want to live into. Greg Braden, the author of Isaiah Effect, says that prayer is the doorway to possibilities. And so therefore, when we pray affirmatively, we are opening up the possibility of something greater. Braden also says that we must become more than the condition we are dealing with in order to achieve a successful outcome. So we must go from the head to the heart. We must move beyond where we are to where it is possible to go. Give you an example. Let's say someone is laid off from a job or fired. The denial does not say that the person wasn't fired and they can go back to work tomorrow. The denial says being fired or being laid off does not diminish me. It does not mean that there is not another possibility before me. It does not mean that I don't have the skills and the knowledge to have another wonderful job, perhaps even greater. The affirmation affirms that. Within me is the power to create the perfect job at the perfect income with the perfect hours and the right and perfect coworkers. Now, so the combination of the two, as I said, is taking us from the head to the heart. In the head, we are focused on that situation, and it is pulling us into it. But at the heart is saying, you're greater than this. There's so much more to you than this situation. Now, sometimes the situation is really challenging. This past week, one of my dear friends, and she's also my lotician, she does my lots, she lost her only child. And her mother called me and said, you know, I don't know what to do. I mean, she's just crying and uncontrollably. And she's not recognizing that, you know, there's a power in this and that God is within it and there is, you know, she will survive. And I said, wait. I said, that's all she's got, is the weeping and the wailing. All she's got is the please God. She was saying, please God, don't take my child. Look, if all you've got is begging and pleading because the situation is so big, go for it. Beg, plead. Does not mean that God does not hear you, because it is coming from the depths of your heart. The deepest places of your heart is saying, please God, help me. And so go with the begging and pleading until you're able to remember the truth of your being. And at that point, you begin to affirm what's possible. While I am in deep pain because of the death of my child, I know that God will lead me and guide me and direct me to a healing place where I can go forward and live fruitfully and enjoy again. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So how do we do this affirmative prayer? As I said, first you disavow the situation. You disavow its power to bring you down. And then you affirm the possibility of God, the truth of God, the truth of everything good that can come forward from you. But what is going on when we have used this method? We have done this over and over, and yet nothing is happening. Well, there's some possibilities. Greg Braden says, our outer world is simply composed of our inner worlds, of the reflection of our inner worlds. So we go within us to see if, one, perhaps there might be an opposing belief system. So if you are attempting to manifest a financial situation, maybe you're remembering something that someone said when you were growing up, there's never enough. Or money doesn't grow on trees. Or it's hard out here. So you look back within you to see, is it possible that I might be holding on to some belief that is counteracting what I'm speaking? Sometimes the emotions or the feelings are standing in the way. Perhaps it's fear. Perhaps you fear success. There are people who fear success, who will get to a certain point and then sabotage their success because they're afraid to go to that next level. Sometimes it's doubt. Sometimes we might doubt that it's even possible to have the desires of our heart. So many of these things might keep us from achieving that manifestation. One of the things I suggest to people is that they write an affirmation, make copies, put one on your bathroom mirror, one on your refrigerator, one on the dashboard of your car, and one at your office, at your work or at home office. And each day you are seeing this positive statement of truth, and it is imprinting itself within your mind, filtering down to the subconscious and unconscious levels of mind. Try it, it works. Another thing I suggest is holding the affirmation, saying it 7 times a day for 21 days. They say that anything that you do for 21 days becomes a habit. However, now remember this, if you get to the 10th day and you don't do it, you got to start all over. But anything that you do for 21 days, they have proven, becomes a habit. So those are some of the ways of bringing that new awareness of the situation from the head to the heart. See, God knows the desires of your heart. And so one of the things I want you to remember about prayer is that prayer is not about overcoming God's reluctance to give. It is about aligning with God's willingness to give us the kingdom of heaven every moment of every day. We are so powerful. We can create anything we want to. If you don't believe it, look around you. You created all of this. We created all of this. At some point, everything you see was a divine idea in the mind of the universe that came into a person who put it out as a manifest thing. So therefore, if we created all this stuff, we can create anything that we could possibly dream of. The key is to believe that we can. So let's look at the steps. I have some steps. What's the first step? Let's read it with me. Affirm it. Affirm it. Affirm it. That's a declaration. Affirm the truth of it. It's okay to be aware of the condition, but affirm the truth of it. Take your eye off the condition and place your eye on God through the heart. The next, believe it. Believe it. Search your heart to make sure that you have a belief there. If not, begin to work on it. Clear away the old belief systems that you have received and been conditioned by through your life journey. And remove that belief. I no longer believe that. I now believe this. The next is give thanks. Gratitude is the most powerful prayer that you can pray. Thank God in advance for the perfect outcome even before you see it. That's faith. And the last is release it. Let it go. Let it go. You don't have to keep telling God over and over and over and over and over. You can let it go. You don't have to keep checking to see if it's done yet. Take your hands off the wheel and let God drive. Let it go. Release it. Release it. And expect it. Expect it. Just expect it because you see the possibility of it lives in you. It is you. And there is nothing that you cannot do. There is nothing you cannot create. And so therefore, that is why I say, I pray yes. I pray yes. I pray yes. Say that with me. I pray yes. I pray yes. I pray yes. And I guarantee you, beloveds, that goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. God bless you.
I didn't think so. I'm getting the Just announcements.
Our heart ministers are available after the service today to offer prayer support for challenges or celebrations. You may see them around the sanctuary, on the grounds, and they are the ones wearing the lavender stoles. Your prayer requests can also be sent at any time from our website. I ask everyone to please take a connection card from the seat pocket in front of you. We invite each of you to take a moment to fill out this card if you have a prayer request, question, or comment. If you're new to Unity, you're invited to fill out the card and to also stop by our welcome table, which is located out on the patio, and we look forward to meeting you. The ushers will receive your card with the offering toward the end of the music. It's now time for our prosperity celebration. For credit card donations, there are envelopes provided in the seat pockets in front of you. And for those of you watching at home, just click on the the donate button on the Watch Live page. One of the great teachings of truth is the awareness that God is the source of all our good. Every blessing that fills our lives is the expression of the goodness and love of the divine. As we focus upon God as the source of all good, we open to receive ever-expanding abundance. I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all your good. Repeat our affirmation with me together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arm. What a blessedness, what a peace is mine, leaning on the everlasting arms. Leaning, sing with me, leaning, safe and secure from all alarms. Leaning, leaning, leaning on the everlasting arms. Oh, how sweet to walk in this pilgrim way, leaning on the everlasting arms. Oh, how bright the path grows from day to day, leaning on the everlasting arms. Leaning, leaning, safe and secure from all alarms. Leaning, leaning, leaning on the everlasting arms.
Walking in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of
And now let us bless our beautiful children. Together, children, you are loved, special, and important. The light of God shines through you, as you, by you, for you, and with you. And now, let us stand. Let's do our prayer for protection and our peace song. And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song.
begin with me.
right now. So let it shine
and have fun.